In this video, you're going to learn how to use Subtractive EQ to clean up your vocals. I'm going to walk you through the entire process. So if you want to feel more confident mixing with EQ and learn how to apply Subtractive EQ for clarity on vocals, keep watching. This is actually an extract from a recent live mixing session. So if you want to get access to the whole thing, just check out the link in the bio. So the next thing now is Subtractive EQ. So what we're going to do now is just go through each of these channels and look for any kind of major issues that need fixing, resonances, really ugly frequencies, and then we can just drop them out. So there's a couple of approaches here. So I'm going to start with the more traditional approach, which is just doing it with an EQ. We're just going to do a boost, make it really narrow, and swoop this up and down until we notice a real bump in volume. And again, we can do this in solo.
A light burning through the night, calling us on home.
So let's just loop something that's a bit more consistent.
Burning through the night, burning through the night, burning through the night. Burning through the night, 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 burning through the night.
So that just opens up the vocal a bit, gets rid of that resonance.
Burning through the night, burning through the night, burning through the night, burning through the night, burning through the night.
Got a bit of a resonance there as well.
Burning through the night, 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 burning through the burning through the.
So it makes it sound just a bit cleaner. We're not trying to make things sound different. We're not trying to shape the tone. We're just trying to clean things up a bit. Now, what's interesting, and I've only recently discovered this, is a really great plugin. There we go, Sound Theory Golfos. It's quite incredible, actually. What this plugin does is a similar thing. It finds build-up in frequencies, but it's an algorithm that does it for you. And then instead of just cutting them out with EQ, it's constantly reacting. It's kind of more like a multiband compressor, but on steroids. It's a multiband compressor that's constantly readjusting not just the amount of compression, but the note that's being compressed. I think it updates kind of like 100 times per second or something ridiculous like that. And what I've found is whenever I'm listening to a source and I'm like, oh, okay, I can hear an issue with like muddiness, or I can hear an issue where there's like a resonance here, I spent a lot of time testing this plugin and being like, okay, this is the issue that I can hear. I think like with an EQ, for example, I'd cut around 500 hertz or 470. Now let's see what Golfos finds. And every time without fail, it kind of found the issue that I was hearing. So let's see how it works here.
Burning through the night, burning through the night, burning through the night.
So it's cleaning up a lot of that mud. It is dipping it a bit here, that same area that we found that was an issue, kind of like around 500.
Burning through the night.
It's dipping that.
Burning through the night. Burning through the night. Burning through the night. Burning through the night. Burning through.
So just a brief overview of the controls here. So I can't remember the specifics of how these work, but my understanding was that recover finds the issues that are kind of poking out too much, as in like really strong frequencies. And once it's found those issues, recover brings out the stuff that's missing. Tame kind of tames those peaks. So you just have to find a balance between the two.
Burning through the night.
So tame should catch that issue that we found more so.
Burning through.
Yeah, so you can see it's catching
that
issue around 500.
Burning through the night.
Now it is catching some of the actual fundamentals there, which is a shame because that's something I try to avoid doing. But generally it just has a very similar effect. It's kind of crazy how effective it is.
Burning through the night, burning through the night,
And then bias decides where it leans towards, either tame or recover.
burning through the night, 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 burning through the night.
So I prefer to use tame more and quite subtly still, because recover does make it sound different.
Burning through the, burning through the.
So you can see it's kind of boosting around here, whereas tame is just finding those issues, and that's what we're trying to do, find those frequencies that are really building up, and then it's reducing them. So really cool little plugin if you struggle doing this with an EQ, and smart EQs are going to become more and more commonplace and a more essential part of our workflow, because this is way more effective than even just using EQ, because it's constantly adjusting, constantly updating. This is becoming a more and more integrated part of at least my mix prep process, because it's finding those same issues, it's just doing it quicker and more effectively. So let's do a comparison. So this is when I fixed it with just EQ.
Burning through the night,
This is with Goldfoss.
burning through the night,
It does sound different.
burning through the,
It's fixing some other issues,
burning through the night.
but it's doing a similar thing. It's finding those peaks and it's dropping them down. So there you go. That's how you apply subtractive EQ to vocals. Now, of course, this is just one part of the vocal mixing process. There's so much that goes into getting a good vocal sound. So I put together a free vocal mixing cheat sheet that walks you through the entire process, not just EQ, but also automation, limiting, compression, and everything else you need to do to make your vocals sound professional. So just head to the link on screen now or to the link in the bio to get access to that free cheat sheet PDF. That's all from me. If you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe, and remember, create regardless.